morning, everyone. This is Healnlearn.com with Nadia Niyazi today. We're discussing the burning topic of burnouts. Welcome, Nadia.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming over in this unpleasant Vienna weather.
Yeah.
But we're still enjoying the beautiful view.
Gorgeous view.
So we haven't seen each other for a while. I know you've been working on quite a few new programs. Could you please tell us a bit about yourself first? I know that you're a practicing psychologist, but apart from that, you had quite a few programs that you had developed yourself that touch on spirituality and self-development. What are you focused on right now?
Basically, I have developed a kind of program which I've actually taken a lot from my previous mentors and people that have helped me in my own journey. And these programs, they try to see the person as a whole. So they have a holistic perspective. And because many times, you go to the doctor, they kind of fix you on a physical level. It's very one-sided. And then you have psychologists that just looks at your emotions, mental aspects, and so on. And so for me, what I noticed in my clients and also in myself, actually this came about because of my own healing journey that I went on, is that we need all of these aspects to be looked at because we're a whole person. We're not part of a being.
Right.
And we have all these different aspects, like the physical aspect, the emotional, the mental, the social. We're social animals, so that is really a big part of looking at the treatment. And finally, also the spiritual aspect. Not getting too much into. Different people have different perspectives on that and different beliefs, but really looking at your higher self, or your purpose, the meaning of your life, and kind of the self, like the big S self, which cannot be kind of seen apart in your personal growth and development. One thing that I do focus on a lot is burnout. And there are different aspects to that. For some, some people call it also adrenal fatigue syndrome. That's also something. It's a thing.
Okay. Is that not more like a depression?
So depression is part of it, but where certain kind of hormones get depleted and certain organs and so on that play a vital role get exhausted. There's this exhaustion, and then there's anxiety. So I also include anxiety in my treatment models, and so you have like this trifecta, basically, the adrenal issues, the burnout issues, depression and anxiety many times go together. And recently also I've been looking at especially mothers with let's say ADHD, attention hyperactivity deficit disorder, which is very underlooked in the adult population. We have a lot of information and resources for children, but a lot of adults are also suffering from this, which causes also burnout, and much more kind of easily and quickly into a trajectory where someone just feels like they can't cope anymore. So, and the reason I went on this route is also I myself was affected by many of these issues, and I have such a huge empathy and a kind of a compassion for others that to go through something like this, because I've had first-hand experience as well. So it's very dear to my heart, but also as a professional, I do have a certain distance to be able to help somebody now that I'm kind of through most of that to be able to help somebody in this situation now.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say would be the problem of a person who contacts you? Who is the typical person that contacts you?
The typical person is a mom,
Mm-hmm.
or women in general, but specifically mothers who have gone through some kind of trauma, one trauma or multiple complex trauma in their lives, and most recently some kind of trigger that has kind of taken them on a trajectory that has gotten them basically depleted and burnt out and depressed, anxious, towards a certain way of behaving. So when I talk to the person, I try to understand this part. So this is a big part of our work, because I can just tell them a couple of practical things they can do, then off they go, and then they'll come back a few months later saying, I can't do this. So habits and programming. So so when I talk to somebody, we look at all of these issues, and I try to really see their strengths and capacities as much as where they lack, because and so I would say, we kind of break it down into, we see the what, and then we see the why, so that's the conscious stuff, the childhood stuff, and then the how, to see how to go forward using practical methods. Because something that irritates me is, for example, let's say a lot of these personal development coaches and authors and so on, they advocate, okay, when you wake up, you should have a morning ritual. And this is quite common with all the successful people, Oprah and so on, which is part of the ritual. So, this is something like, okay, you wake up, you do meditations or mindfulness exercises, or you do like half an hour yoga, and then regarding, you should drink this water and that vitamin.
Sometimes I get to the morning meditation at noon, and I don't really have 5 minutes free time to do that.
That's exactly what I mean. So all of these people are advocating something that I, as a mother, how on earth am I supposed to apply this in my life? There's no way. First of all, I haven't set my alarm in I don't know how long, because my child is my alarm at 6 in the morning. Of course, when you decide to do your meditation an hour earlier, he ends up waking 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like a perfect.
But it's not feasible to wake up to do a meditation at 5 if you've gone to bed at 11, 12. It's not feasible.
Well, that's the other thing to talk about, which is sleep hygiene. So sleeping earlier. So anyway, and then you have the situation where it's like, these are all nice ideas, great. Practical tips, wonderful. I can't do this. And then, so it's really to see, okay, as a mother, where can I carve out this time in the day, like you're saying, later on it happens, or, after you. So it's really to see, okay, as a mother, where can I carve out this time in the day, like you're saying, later on it happens, or, after you take your child to kindergarten, or something along those lines, So we devise a plan that makes sense to them.
Okay, so this all sounds great, Nadia. Thank you very much for letting us know what your method is and what principles you follow in your work. When can we expect to have you on Healnlearn.com, and when can we see your programs being offered there?
So for one-on-one conversations, I'm available already from now. And soon I'll be going on maternity leave.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. And so, but I'd like to continue sharing and helping people, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so my plan is to create this program in a way that people can follow it like a journey, you know, not just like throwing a bunch of practical tips and things, mm-hmm. but rather that they go through kind of a work videos, so to speak, looking at all the how, the why, the what, and the 5 dimensions of a person, and so on. Mm-hmm. And it will focus on different aspects like burnout or ADHD, on mothers, and so on.
Mm-hmm. What a great location, business location to be talking about burnout.
Very apt, yes.
Yeah. All right, Nadia, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
It was a lovely conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.